In this podcast episode, Jameela Jamil discusses her journey in the entertainment industry, her experiences with cancel culture, and her shift towards promoting unity and understanding. She reflects on the changes she has witnessed within social justice circles and expresses her concern about the current state of discourse and activism. Jamil begins by acknowledging that she has been a vocal advocate within social justice circles, but she has noticed a shift in the way these communities operate. She expresses her disappointment with the current state of affairs, where people within these circles are tearing each other apart and focusing on unattainable standards of moral perfection. She emphasizes the lack of diversity of thought and the punitive nature of the discourse, which contradicts the principles of inclusivity and diversity that these communities claim to uphold. Jamil explains that she still stands for the same values but disagrees with the way in which these values are being pursued. She believes that change cannot be achieved by ostracizing and bullying others, but rather through incremental change and open dialogue. She highlights the importance of reaching out to those with opposing opinions and finding common ground, as this is the only way to secure freedoms and bring about real change. The guest also discusses her personal journey and the challenges she has faced in the public eye. She recalls the rapid rise to fame and the pressure that came with it. She explains that being put on a pedestal ultimately leads to a fall, as powerful individuals and the media orchestrate one's demise. She shares her experience of being cancelled and the toll it took on her mental health, leading her to contemplate suicide. However, she has since overcome this trauma and now feels a responsibility to bring people together and work towards a more peaceful society. Jamil offers advice to those who are frustrated and angry about certain issues in the world. She encourages individuals to recognize the cultural pattern of seeking quick fixes and instant gratification. She emphasizes the need for patience and discipline, as real change takes time. She suggests educating oneself, listening to opposing opinions, and developing critical thinking skills. She also urges people to focus on their inner circle and work towards change within their own communities, rather than engaging in divisive arguments with celebrities or strangers on social media. The guest continues by highlighting the interconnectedness of identity and opinion in today's society. She notes that people now define others based on their opinions, rather than seeing them as multifaceted individuals. She expresses concern about the tendency to disregard someone's entire history and contributions based on one mistake or disagreement. She calls for a shift in mindset, where people can recognize the value of others and work on addressing the harmful aspects while still appreciating the positive contributions. Jameela continues by talking about the negative aspects of fame and how it can lead to isolation and loneliness. She shares her own experiences of being attacked by the media and how it affected her mental health. She emphasizes the importance of grace and accountability in dealing with public figures and calls for more consistency and less hypocrisy in the way we treat artists. The conversation then shifts to the topic of cancel culture and the Met Gala controversy. Jameela criticizes the industry and audience for not being able to separate art from the artist. She points out the hypocrisy of celebrating someone who has made derogatory comments about fat people, immigrants, and the #MeToo movement. She believes that we need to decide whether we should separate the art from the artist or not, and calls for more self-accountability and less demonization. Lewis and Jameela discuss the concept of grace and how it can lead to personal growth and healing. Jameela shares her own journey of self-acceptance and how she has learned to have grace for herself and others. She believes that the fight should have a point and that there should be a road back for people who make mistakes. She also highlights the importance of recognizing our own flaws and not enjoying watching others fail. The conversation then turns to the topic of mental health. Jameela talks about the role of neurology in shaping our behavior and personality. She emphasizes the importance of exercise, good nutrition, and sleep in improving mental health. She also discusses the need for mental health to be prioritized and treated as a fundamental aspect of overall well-being. Jameela shares her own journey of embracing exercise and how it has positively impacted her mental health. She talks about her podcast, I Weigh, and how it focuses on mental health and neurology. She encourages people to take control of their own mental health and not rely solely on medication or therapy. Jameela shares her own journey of embracing exercise and how it has positively impacted her mental health. She talks about her podcast, I Weigh, and how it focuses on mental health and neurology. She encourages people to take control of their own mental health and not rely solely on medication or therapy. The conversation continues with Jameela expressing her desire for people to come together and focus on the big issues that affect society. She calls for more empathy, understanding, and open-mindedness. She believes that by prioritizing mental health and working towards a healthier and happier society, we can create positive change. Jameela starts by talking about the importance of laughter in her life. She believes that laughter has been the key to her survival, more than any medicine or operation. She expresses her gratitude for being able to laugh and hopes to continue doing so for many more years. Jameela also mentions how comedian Robin Williams brought her joy and helped her through her darkest moments. She even has pictures of him in her house as a tribute to his impact on her life. The conversation then shifts to the concept of greatness. Jameela shares her definition of greatness, which is being remembered for the joy and laughter one brings to others. She hopes that Robin Williams knew how much he was loved and appreciated for the happiness he brought to people's lives. Although Jameela never had the opportunity to meet him, she had a brief encounter on a plane where she witnessed his comedic talent and was in awe of his ability to make people laugh. The podcast host asks Jameela about her experiences with fame and how she handles it. Jameela admits that fame can be overwhelming and challenging at times. She talks about the pressure to always be perfect and the constant scrutiny she faces in the public eye. However, she also acknowledges the privileges that come with fame and the platform it provides to advocate for important causes. Cancel culture is another topic discussed in the podcast. Jameela expresses her concerns about the negative aspects of cancel culture, such as the lack of nuance and the potential for mob mentality. She believes in accountability and growth, but also emphasizes the importance of forgiveness and allowing people to learn from their mistakes. Jameela encourages open dialogue and understanding rather than immediate cancellation. The conversation then turns to self-love and body positivity. Jameela shares her journey towards accepting and loving herself, despite societal pressures and beauty standards. She talks about her own struggles with body image and how she has learned to prioritize her mental and emotional well-being over external validation. Jameela also discusses her activism in promoting body positivity and inclusivity in the media. Towards the end of the podcast, Jameela praises the host for being a strong and outspoken female. She acknowledges that being bright and funny as a woman has not always been celebrated or acknowledged as a positive trait. Jameela encourages women to embrace their intelligence and humor, and to challenge societal expectations and stereotypes. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.